Good is good, and your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be going over and talking about how you guys can go about building your perfect lineup for no matter how much MT, what type of players you guys have. You're going to be able to build a perfect lineup with the help of this video. Now, before we dive any further to that, make sure to smash that subscribe button on the road towards 130,000 subscribers. So when I go through and when I think of building the perfect lineup, there's a mix of players you want to have for your squad. Whether that's shooting, whether that's defense, whether that's playmaking, whether that's attacking the rim, you've got to have a good mix. And that goes right along with the fact that you don't want to run an interior big with a primary ball handler that can't, 3-hunt and shoot the ball at an elite level. So we're going to be going through and talking about those couple of things. Now, the first thing I want to say is, okay, if your starting point guard is Dwyane Wade, you're not going to want to pair him probably with a guy like Shaq. Now, let's talk about why. Dwyane Wade is not a 3-hunting type of player. He's not. Dwyane Wade is absolutely fantastic. I love Dwyane Wade in my team, but he's not a point guard that you're gonna want to 3-hunt with. Meanwhile, on that same train of thought, you're not going to shoot the ball with Shaq. So the guys I would want to pair with Shaq: Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry, guys like that, guys that you can go out and 3-hunt with. If you want to talk about, even shooting guards, you want to pair with Shaq, you're going to want to pair Devin Booker. So let's say you want to run Wade in your starting lineup, where you're going to want to pair him with a shooting guard that can be a primary ball handler that can 3-hunt in Devin Booker. Now, let's keep going with who I would run with a guy like Shaq, because the center position, that's going to be the thing that swings the most. So I'd run Kyrie with Shaq, Steph with Shaq, somebody like that. I personally like Kyrie more. Now, if you're running a point guard like Kyrie Irving or Steph Curry that can be a primary ball handler, your shooting guard doesn't need to be that. Your shooting guard just needs to be a secondary ball handler. That's why I run Brandon Roy with Kyrie Irving. A guy that can get you that occasional bucket, but a guy who is absolutely fantastic on the defensive end of the court and knocks down shots at an elite level. Again, you could plug in Tracy McGrady right alongside him as well. T-Mac can shoot the ball well, play insane defense, and he could be great alongside Kyrie Irving as well. Now again, if you want to run Dwyane Wade, he's the perfect guy to pair Devin Booker with. Another shooting guard you could pair Wade with, maybe even a guy like Kyle Korver, Desmond Bane, guys that can go and get you that occasional bucket. That's the big thing that I want to drive home. The main point I want to drive home on is with one of your point guard or shooting guard position, they've got to be able to be that primary ball handler. So let's go back to my line. Small forward position. Here's the deal. If you have Kevin Durant, he can be a primary ball handler, so then you could run Wade, Brandon Roy, Kevin Durant if you wanted to. Now, if you don't have Kevin Durant, my opinion on a small forward is all they need to do is play defense. That's all they play, defense and knock down shots. So whether that for you is Scottie Pippen, whether that for you is Grant, whether that for you is even a guy like Bruce Bowen, Andre Iguodala, I don't really care, but your small forward needs to be that lockdown defender. So I love even Robert Covington. You see him ran on my Nobody Spent Squad series because I am a massive fan of it. My whole thing is if I have Kyrie and Brandon Roy on the court, my small forward's not going to be making that many plays for me anyways, so it's not like I want to waste that on a guy like, let's say, Kyle Korver. There's no point in that. Yes, Kyle Korver's going to knock down shots, but he is a defensive liability. So for me, I run Scottie Pippen. Even if you have Kawhi Leonard, a perfect guy to plug into your small forward position, just somebody that can defend at a high level. If you're a no money spent player, you're looking at Robert Covington. That is who you're looking for at this small forward position. Just basically a pure lock. Power forward position, here's my opinion on a power forward position. Do what you want with it, right? Do what you want with it. In my opinion, you want a guy that can do a little bit of everything. My favorite power forward to run in my team, as it stands right now, is Anthony Davis. That is my favorite power forward in the entire game. Now, why? Because AD is going to play incredibly good defense, and he's going to knock down shots for me. Outside of those couple of things, I don't really care what he does. He's not going to handle the ball a ton. So as long as he plays good defense, gets me the occasional paint stops, and can stretch the floor enough that people can't leave him, That's all you need. Now, yes, you could play Chris Bosh at the power forward position if you wanted. I think Draymond Green is outstanding. Why do I not love Ruby Giannis? Well, I'm pretty 50 with him, and so he doesn't green every shot for me, and that does make me just kind of not like him so much. Now, if you're no money spent and you're looking for a small forward or a power forward, things get a little bit tougher. I don't mind Julius Randle because I think he can do a little bit of everything on the court. Even Jabari Smith Jr. at the power forward position is way better than him at the center. Even Jordan Walsh can do a little bit of everything on the court. Now, here's what I would say. Again, at the center position, that's kind of how you have to structure your whole team. So pick your center. If he can stretch the court, then you don't have to worry so much about having a point guard that can shoot. But if he's an interior big, you got to have some guys that can 3-hunt on the court. Now, my bench unit, again, started with the center, so then we can prioritize and plan stuff around him. My bench center right now is Chris Bosh. A lot of people have Chris Bosh. You got to win 15 triple threat online games in a row for him. It's not super easy to do, but if you have Chris Bosh at the center position, that opens up so much else. If you have him, I don't even have to run Steph Curry anymore. I can go and run a guy like Dwayne Wade. Now, for me personally, with how much I like to 3-hunt, again, I haven't played a ton after the post patch, but I'm plugging in Steph Curry. Now, the reason I plug in Steph Curry is so Draymond Green can play. If you look at my power forward centers list, who else outside of Giannis could play? I mean, Ben Wallace isn't bad, but then he's another interior big. I just don't have that much else right here to play. And so that's why I run Steph Curry. Because Steph Curry makes Draymond Green so much better. Draymond Green can play by himself. I do that on my Nobody Spent Squad series. But if you have Draymond and Steph, I mean, they both make each other better, and it just makes things so much easier for everybody on the court. And the one thing I would say is if you run a point guard, like a Kyrie, like a Steph, your small forward's gonna have to be a pure lock. And so for me, even on this account right now, it's probably gonna change soon, but I'm running Robert Covington. Covington, for me, can hold it down. He's got a good 3-ball, decent speed, great lateral quickness, great player model player build, and good defensive matches. That's my small forward. Again, the structure of my squad with my starting unit, bench unit is basically the same. The only thing is, with a stretch big, I could go and plug in like a Wade if I wanted to instead of a Steph Curry. One thing about it is, though, guys, I like T-Mac more than Devin Booker, and I can't really, if I ran, let's say I ran D-Wade, T-Mac, Covington, Draymond, and Chris Bosh. I really wouldn't have a bucket getter. And Steph Curry is exactly that in my bench unit. And so that is another reason that I am a big fan of using Steph Curry. Because look, I know he can go get me a bucket at any given time on the court. Now, if I didn't have Chris Bosh, I would run Ben Wallace in a heartbeat. That is the guy I would put out there. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, because I do have Steph Curry, a guy that can go get me a bucket. Now, again, if I didn't, let's say I didn't have Steph Curry, my squad would look like this. I'd probably go D-Wade, and then I'd probably go Booker. Give me a guy that can create a little bit. And then at the power forward position, I would probably still be running Ruby Giannis, honestly. Because here's the deal. I've got Chris Bosh. He can stretch the court. And so then if I'm not hitting with Giannis, I mean, I did give him a shoe, so he should be able to shoot decently. But anyways, I just run my pick and roll with Giannis and TyDeBo. Probably is what I would do with my bench unit if I did not have this Steph Curry as well as Draymond Green duo. For me, I really do love that duo. It's been really solid for me, and so why not run it? And even for me, if I didn't want to run Robert Covington, to me, Grant Hill is maybe even better than Robert Covington. If I put my bias aside, Grant Hill literally is a great defensive player in his own right, and in my opinion, just as good, if not better, than Robert Covington. For me, obviously, I love Robert Covington, but Grant Hill fits that perfect small forward build. So if you're not getting the point of this video, here's what I'll say. Either your point guard or shooting guard needs to be able to be that primary ball handler and make plays. You got to find a center that fits that, or pick your center, find a shooting guard, point guard that fits them. You're not going to see me run Steph and D-Book together because neither of them can defend. You're not going to see me run D-Wade and a guy like T-Mac together because neither one of them I love in my primary ball handler. That is all the balance with finding this thing, right? You want good balance in your squad, and that's something that I personally would recommend. Now, I 3-hunt honestly better with Kyrie Irving than Steph Curry, as crazy as that sounds, and so that's why I pair Shaq with Kyrie Irving. A lot of time I take mid-range jumpers with Kyrie Irving as well, because I'm way more comfortable with Kyrie Irving than probably anybody else on the squad. Now, for the last 3 spots, do I fill them? This year I'd recommend doing it. Let's say you need a 3 at the end of the game. have Kyle Korver on the squad. I need a stop at the end of the game. I can put D-Wade in at point guard. He's going to get me exactly that. Even if I need to stop, I might put Giannis in over AD at that power forward position, just because I know he can ultimately get me that stop that I am asking for. That is personally what I would recommend when building your squad. Even it's the same principle. Think of 5-man squads in clutch time, right? You want a guy that can go get you a bucket, you want a lot of defense, and you want to pair them with a center that you can do stuff with. Triple threat online, a lot of people might be wondering on that for that. What does your squad look like with that? Well, in triple threat online, the squad I personally would run with, it's tough. I think D-Book, because he gives you a little bit more size as a primary, AD, and then probably like a Scottie Pippen. I think this is like your ultimate perfect triple threat squad. Because here's the deal. 3-pointers are so important in triple threat online that the fact that you have 3 guys that can shoot the ball is super important. You don't have D-Book, Kyrie Irving's fine, just somebody that can be that primary ball handler for you guys in my team. That's gonna wrap it up for our video on how you guys should go about structuring your specific squad in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. The big thing, pair offense with defense, pair bigs that can't shoot with shot creators. It's pretty simple if you do think about it, but it is going to help you out in the long run. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.